hi there. I'm McColloch. If you're looking for transparency in government, this is the place. If you're looking for something else, I can help you with that too. So transparency, I don't know if you heard Mr. Spurgeon say something earlier. He talked about transparency. That's one of those things that is really paramount with our city leadership and with our city council. It's one of those things that's very important to them. It's very important to all of us. And what that means is we communicate. We tell you what's going on. We tell you how your money's being spent, what it's being spent on, that sort of thing. And so
it's appreciated.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And let me just say real quick.
It's not always that way.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, that's not awesome that it wasn't that way prior, but it's awesome that we have that we've evolved a little bit. So, and that brings up a good point too. If you have a question, if you want to say, please feel free, because I will have a tendency just to ramble on here. We do everything in the public's purview, so everything is open. On our website, you have the ability to go in and see exactly how your money is being spent, and you do that on our agendas page. And as you can see from that, it's not terribly user-friendly, so it can be a little overwhelming, but this is where you can go and you can find all the information from city council meetings, planning commission meetings, drainage advisory committee, that sort of thing. What we do is we try to really break it down because not everybody's able to pay attention to these city council meetings and that sort of thing. As a matter of fact, routinely, how often do you pay attention to city council meetings and that sort of thing?
I do, but twice a month. She does twice a month. She like watches the whole schmear.
So you're the one.
Live. She's the one.
I usually read the agenda.
There you go.
At least I know what's on the agenda this month.
There you go. So what we like to do is we like to take those meetings and the things that happen with them and some of the big items, we like to break that down, break it into nuggets, kind of bite-sized type things.
And you do highlights.
That's correct. And we do quite a few different recurring type things, and City Council Highlights is one of those. You can catch that on the first and third Wednesday of every month because we follow the City Council meetings the following day.
Okay.
That's going to really break it down. It's about 5 minutes long, but it saves you from having to watch a 2-hour meeting, that sort of thing. We also do, I'll skip BA breakdown and come back to Broken Arrow Motion, Broken Arrow Focus, Community Development. Those three are monthlies. Motion focuses on the projects. It's basically a monthly update where we are with these things. Let's say New Orleans Square intersection. That's been in Broken Arrow Motion, excuse me, since June because that project is continuing on through the spring till about May, I think it is. Focus.
But we can turn left now.
But we can turn left now, which is fantastic. And I turned left through this morning. I was like, oh my goodness.
People are like, I didn't even have to turn left, but I did it because I could.
Exactly, exactly.
It's going to change when they go to spring break.
So it will.
Yeah.
It will for a little bit. Yeah, because we have to get back in the center of the intersection, and we've got to do that medallion of the New Orleans Square logo.
Rest assured, people are going to moan and groan about that.
They will.
Won't be in session, so
Well,
that's a big problem.
Yeah, that's why
exactly.
they scheduled them.
And that's why they're scheduling like that. Let's hope that the weather works out, because that little bit of weather that we had there back in, what was it, a couple of weeks ago, the end of January, beginning of February, you know, it was a detriment, you know.
Yeah.
And so I drove through there, and I think it was that Friday of that week, and their big equipment was still just sitting there, and you could tell it hadn't moved. There weren't any marks or anything, so they lost a week. They lost a week. Focus focuses, you know, it's a monthly update on the different initiatives and things that we're doing around the city. So like this, the fentanyl forum that we did the other night with our police department and the schools. It has that sort of thing in it. So that's what focus is in community development. What that is, that's a new video that we started just probably about a year ago, I guess it was. And what this does is it focuses on the City Council's approvals of things like comprehensive plan changes, rezonings, planned unit developments, that sort of thing, to keep you up to speed with the different things that are coming in. One of the reasons why we started it was, y'all are familiar with the Bells development out east, correct?
Yeah.
So a lot of people were disappointed, upset, felt like they weren't part of the process. We followed the process as far as the rezoning and everything that the owner had asked for, but people aren't familiar with that process and how that works. And so we started this video to keep people in the loop with, okay, City Council did this at this location, and so it just kind of lets you know where things are with that. And so that's what that community development piece is. The BA breakdown on KRMG, this is something that we've been doing for about a year now. It's fantastic, isn't it?
I just wish it would last a little bit longer
I do too. I do too.
than 5 minutes.
And it's funny because Skylar, the host, you know, he lives in Broken Arrow, just right down Main Street, and so it's fantastic because he loves Broken Arrow. He lives here, and so he's got a vested interest in it. And him and the city manager have a fantastic relationship, and the conversation has really gotten much better, and it's really been organic and that sort of thing. So, but you can tell when he's tight on time. And this Tuesday, he was really tight on time, and so he was into a question, and then he was out.
Right.
So there are times that we've gone 10 minutes, we've gone 2 segments, but most of the time it stays right there about 5, 7.
Most times they fix it to the 5 minutes, but I like to have it expand.
I do too. I do too. And if you ever miss it, we do archive those.
Yes.
So we have them on our YouTube channel. KRMG has them on their page as well too. So if you do ever miss it, you can find it. And then we have live streams. So as you pointed out, you watch the live stream. So City Council is the only one that we put out there socially. Planning Commission, you can find that live stream on our website. City Council on our website as well. The City Council we also put out on YouTube. We've run into some issues with Facebook Live. It's been a little wonky, so we've pulled that because it's a bad experience for users over the past December and the first meeting in January. So we kind of got away from that. These are all the different ways that we send out messaging to everybody, from our website to social media to email newsletters, Code Red. I'll get into that just a little bit. That's a mass notification system. Press releases with the media, our Cox Cable 24, our mobile app. I'll get into that more just to hear in a little bit as well. Direct mail, we do some direct mail, we don't do a lot, and the reason for that is because postage has just gone through the roof, and I'll tell you just a little bit about one of our annual reports here in just a little bit. And then special message, what this is, that's a little box on your utility bill. So when you look at your utility bill, right side, kind of down the lower third, special message, we'll put things in there and let people know, hey, check this out, that sort of thing. So we're trying to use all these different avenues to keep people up to date with what's going on. So our new app, this we just launched November 14th. Our previous app we had had for 7 years. This one is the My Broken Arrow Action Center app, and what we wanted to do, we wanted to create an app that was more than just a place for you to go to say, hey, there's a pothole or there's a street sign that's down or something like that. We wanted to give you a little bit more utility. So there's things to do with our calendar. You can go into the Visit Broken Arrow, and that's going to give you different kind of dining options, shopping options, the whole 9 yards. We really wanted to make this appear to be like City Hall at your fingertips, really. Anything that you do at City Hall, you can do it through here. So if you want to pay your bill, you can do that. If you want to apply for a permit or a license, you can do that as well. And then, of course, you can interact with us through our Action Center by going into the report an issue function, and that's where you can tell us, hey, there's an issue here with this pothole or a city-owned building, something's wrong with lighting out in city parks.
Video or
I don't think you can do video, but you can do a picture.
Pictures.
Which is incredibly helpful for our teams to be able to see what that issue is.
Use a video, get some screenshots.
Yes, ma'am. Yep. You may be able to do video. I don't know that we've actually tested that, but
I'll be the guinea pig.
if you want to give it a shot,
I'll give it a twirl.
there you go.
Yeah.
Her name's Kathleen.
We'll keep an eye out for you then. And then we can do things like push notifications with this, and we don't bombard, spam your phone, but we're trying to use those in a way where it has high impact with everybody who's down. Kind of putting the word out that we've started a new Tuesday evening market. It may be a little hard to see there, but it's just to remind folks that we were starting this pilot program with a new farmers market on Tuesday evenings, and so we put that out. I believe we did one yesterday, just letting folks, the city offices are going to be closed on Monday because of President's Day, and the trash service would slide next week. So trying to look at ways that trying to look at messages that have higher impact for folks, and so that's what we use with those.
Helpful.
It's incredibly helpful. I'm an old news guy, spent 20 years in local news, mostly behind the scenes, but the push notification when it came along was a helpful tool for us to be able to let people know what was going on as far as news is concerned.
I mean, with everything here,
Mm-hmm.
you know, when people say, how come we didn't know? No one told us. We're like, are you new here? Were you born under a rock? It's 2023.
Correct. And it's funny you say that because I have a meeting every morning with my staff, and we just go over the day ahead. Okay, what do we need to put out? Well, you know, how can we inform? How can we educate? What are some things, you know, what's happening tomorrow? What can we put out today to let them know about tomorrow, and that sort of thing. And we're constantly talking and just how can we message this? How can we communicate? How can we let the public know? And I get it.
You can only do so much. I mean, it's
correct.
You've made it really available to everyone.
We try, thank you, and we try.
That's what I was going to say. It's not solely on the city, 100%.
Correct.
It's a partnership between the city, the information you
citizens.
provide, and the citizens need to be made aware. And once they're made aware, that information is
them.
there. It's on them.
Correct. Correct.
Doesn't quite a bit of information show up in the water bill as well?
Some, yeah, we do, and we do some letters, and yep, we get the Focus newsletter that goes out in that, and we have some other things that we'll do, like the city manager's budget message. We'll do a truncated version of that we put in. We're going through budgets now, and I'm budgeting for quite a few other things that we can actually use that to get word out. So yes, absolutely.
You already have the postage going no matter what, so throwing something in there.
Exactly. Yep, exactly.
Most people open their water bill, so it makes sense.
Absolutely. Annual reports, I talked about that just a little bit ago. So Thrive is our financial annual report. This is one that we've done for about 7 years now. It hits everything as far as money coming in, money going out. This is about 40 pages. This is one that we did do direct mail for quite a while, and this year we didn't. And the reason why we didn't this year is because, like I said earlier, the cost just went through the roof. And so I sat down with the city manager, we looked at the budget, and I made the argument that I just didn't feel like it was a good use of taxpayer money. And he completely agreed, so we went all digital with it. As a matter of fact, what we were going to do, instead of this 40-page document, we were going to do a postcard. Send the postcard with the QR code so people could scan that to then open it up. That little postcard that was like 0.3 of an ounce, 0.3 of an ounce, was actually going to cost me more to send that to the 42,000 utility customers that we have than it cost me to send the 40-page Thrive last year. It was unreal. Postage has just gone up that much. It's incredible. And so I had a little bit of concern about people being, well, they're not being transparent, they're not sending that out. But yeah, exactly. Yeah, we could have gone door to door and just handed them out. So, but it is available on our website at brokenarrowok.gov/thrive. Open Roads is a new one. This is one that we just released this year as the first annual report, and it focuses solely on that infrastructure that we all use, whether you're in a car or on your feet, and that's our roadway system. It's about 18 pages. It's about half the size of Thrive, but it lays out everything you need to know as far as our street maintenance program is concerned. We talk about the life cycle of a project. If you weren't able to be in here for the session before me, it was engineering construction, and they talked a little bit about grant funding and that sort of thing and the life cycle of a project. We've got a nice visual in there that shows exactly why it takes approximately 6 years to do like a road widening project. So a lot of great information in there. That's also available on our website, and you can see it. Try to be a little visual here. You can see it on your smartphone. You can see it on the web on your PC as well. But go to brokenarrowok.gov/streets, and that's where you can find that one. And that's, like I said, it's new. That one, we are now obligated to continue doing that for as long as I'm going to be here, which I hope is a very long time. So what's in it for you? As far as, we talked about this just a little bit ago, with it's incumbent upon you to get involved and to pay attention. This is Tim Siegel. He's a Broken Arrow homeowner, and as you can see, he has a disability. He was out one day, and we don't have a picture of this, but he was out one day digging up his yard trying to find a water line that had busted. And he had just had surgery. So he's out there essentially, in his words, I'm out there on one leg and with one arm, and I'm digging in my yard trying to find this water line break. He was borrowing water from his neighbor so he could flush his toilet and that sort of thing. He was without water for like a month and a half. He subscribes to our newsletters, and he was telling us that he came in from being outside digging, came inside, got on his phone, and he had an email from us. We had just launched our homeowner emergency repair assistance program, and it's an income eligible program. Had he not subscribed to that, he would have never have known it. He applied, and about 48 hours later, that water line was fixed. He had water back in his house, and it cost him nothing because he was eligible for that program. That's where that impact is, and that's why it's so important for folks to be in tune with what's going on, because we do have that ability to get some of these grants, some of this funding to help folks, and so that's why it's really important. Talked a little bit earlier about Code Red. This is our emergency notification system. We're in the midst of transitioning to this. We currently have something called Swift 911. I can't remember exactly how long we've had it, but we're transitioning off of that. Code Red's the new one. So this is an opportunity for us to send out messages, emergency messaging, and then some not so emergency messaging. Your trash service isn't going to be picked up today because it's just too dangerous for our employees to be out with the extreme temperatures that we have. So just a couple examples. On the left here, this is a map of our schedule for our solid waste and recycling. So, and you can find this on the solid waste and recycling page of our website. But you can see Monday customers, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday up in North Broken Arrow. So on that Monday, the last week of January, I think it was January 30th, whenever we had those really cold temperatures come in, we weren't able to finish our Monday routes. And so what we did is we went into our system, and we have the ability to geocode and draw a little polygon right around all those Monday people, and then send them a call, let them know, we apologize, but we weren't able to get to it. Leave your carts out. We'll try to get to it. Typically, we try to get to it the next day, but we went ahead and suspended on that Tuesday because it was so cold, and the neighborhoods were just too treacherous for our equipment and our folks. That's what Code Red is. So we can give you that messaging. You can get that right there through your phone and get that call. The other one. So let's say there's a water line break that's going to affect 45 homeowners. That's not something that we want to just throw out there on our Facebook page or spam everybody with, because it's not going to apply to our 43,000 utility customers. It's going to affect 42 of them. So we can, again, go in, draw a polygon around this thing, and it'll send a call to you and say, we're sorry, water's going to be out in your area for the next 4 hours, that sort of thing, and then you'll get a call back. Water's been restored. So that's where Code Red and this mass notification system can really come in and benefit you. And then, of course, if we have some things like some natural disasters, if we were ever to have anything, God forbid, like what's going on in East Palestine, Ohio, we would be able to send messaging out through this as well, too. So it's going to be a really good system, and like I said, we're transitioning from the old one to this new one. So just kind of keep an eye out for that, and you'll be able to input your information into it, and we'll be able to get calls to you. So how do you stay connected? Public meetings, like I like to talk about, like I talked about, /agendas. This is where you can go and you can find everything that we do in our open meetings. And I can't stress that enough, that anything that the city does, it goes through those open meetings. So how we're spending the money, it's all right there. You have to do a little digging, but it is there. And like I said, that's why we try to truncate that and put it out in a little bit easier terms. Emails and newsletters, go to /sign-up. This is, like going back to Tim Siegel, this is how he was able to find out about that program that he was able to get that money for. Social media, you go there, you're going to see all 32 different social media pages that we have across the city. We've got at City of BA, that's our main one, but then Parks and Recreation has a page, police, fire, so you can go through and you can find all of our different handles and follow the different departments that you want. Code red will be at that /alert. And again, this is where you'll be able to go in, just put in your information, and we'll be able to get that emergency type notifications to you. And then the mobile app. If you want more information, go to /mobile app. If you don't have it, I encourage you to go to your app store, just put in My Broken Arrow. It'll pop up, it's free, and then you're well on your way. That's it.